I recently went to a Dairy Queen here in North Carolina, in Raleigh, North Carolina. Got 2 value meals, just soft drinks, the basic, and it was at $25. It just hit me the wrong way. I ended up going outside and just planting me a big garden.
$20 per hour starting tomorrow. That will be the minimum wage for fast food workers across California.
But there are quite a few exceptions and plenty of confusion about whether certain types of workers will be covered. NBC Bay Area's Alyssa Gord explains why this is sparking both optimism and concern.
According to federal data, the more than 500,000 fast food workers in California make, on average, around $16.60 an hour. That's only slightly above the state minimum wage. But starting Monday, restaurants will be required to pay fast food workers at least $20 an hour.
The issue's been around for a long time, but this is one of the first attempts beyond minimum wage to raise wages directly.
But there are exceptions. This only applies to chains with at least 60 locations nationwide, where customers order and pay for items before eating and drinking. Restaurants that produce and sell bread are exempt, but not if the dough is pre-made elsewhere. Restaurants inside a grocery store are exempt, as are restaurants in airports, hotels, event centers, theme parks, and more.
Oh, I think there's a great deal of confusion within the restaurant industry on who's covered and who's not. But there's clearly a segment of workers, and it's a large segment in California, that are covered.
Former Employment Development Department Director Michael Burnick thinks it will take some time to clarify the gray areas in the new law. Burnick says he's heard concerns that this will draw workers away from other jobs that make less. But on the flip side,
it could have this positive impact of increasing wages where possible in other non-hospitality fields.
Last week, this South Bay restaurant owner told us he's not sure if he can afford the required wages.
As an owner or as an employer, you have to have coverage to pay them.
Consumers are getting a little salty about those fast food meals.
Since when is drive-through a minimum of $30 for 2 people to eat?
New inflation data this week confirms that prices at fast food restaurants are on the rise, and consumers, well, they've taken note.
It's getting out of hand out here, bro. I'm gonna have to just start eating ramen noodles like college again.
So why the price increases? In addition to pricier ingredients, labor costs have also been on the rise.
The prices are increasing at a rate that we haven't seen really in modern restaurant industry.
So much so that McDonald's has said it's noticing lower income consumers turning away from Big Macs and opting to cook at home. With food prices at fast food restaurants 5% higher than this time last year, consumers are turning to groceries, where prices have risen at a slower 1.2%. In Orlando, Brooke Benson used to be a super fan of Panera Bread. For 12 years, she used to go 3 to 4 times a week. An outpost near her house showed prices at almost $9 for a bowl for the same soup that cost her about $7 3 years ago.
If I'm going to spend that $8, $9, I'd rather get a sandwich or something that for my family and versus just me getting a bowl of soup.
Panera did not respond to requests for comment. Fast food companies operating on a franchise model insist that prices are up to their franchisees to set, which explains why prices may vary by location.
The franchisor looks at this consumer backlash and is concerned about what this means for their customer base and revenues. And I can tell you, restaurant sales in the back half of last year definitely slowed down for sure.
But consumer backlash may push companies to back off of attempts to pass on costs to consumers, following the social media uproar sparked by Wendy's plans for dynamic pricing.
And $40 more at 3 a.m. We know you want it.
Wendy's later clarifying it would not use surge pricing like rideshare apps, which increase prices during high demand times. Companies like Chili's are trying to advertise meal deals for under $11, taking direct aim at competitors as consumers look for savings.
All right, guys. Hope you guys having a great day today. We are watching On Air with Nick Driver, the Nick Driver Podcast. Please like, comment, subscribe to this channel. Today we are talking about the price hike that they have upped. As we learned in the previous news articles, they have upped the pricing for what they are actually paying the employees there at McDonald's and any of these fast food restaurants. Hey, there's a lot to unpack here. And before we do, let's check another article out and then let's get into it. Hope you guys having a blessed day today. Like, comment, subscribe. You watch On Air with Nick Driver. Let's get it.
It's a popular spot for a burger, fries, and more. But this morning, rising prices at Five Guys making some customers lose their appetites.
So I'm just wondering why the food here is so crazy.
One tweet going viral calling the cost of a meal out of control, along with this receipt apparently showing a $22 price tag for a bacon cheeseburger, regular soda, and little fry. People grilling the popular burger chain on social media.
Absolutely.
This is a fast food restaurant. Why is a burger $12.50?
But Five Guys is not alone. The price of eating at restaurants rising higher than the rate of inflation in the last 12 months. Limited service meals like fast food are up 5.8% over the past year, while full service meals at sit-down restaurants increased 4.3%.
Eating away from home is about 30% more expensive than it was in 2019. But now a lot of these restaurants realize they really just can't raise prices anymore. I think customers are at a breaking point.
Increasingly high fast food prices leaving a bitter taste for consumers hungry for a good deal on a quick bite.
Almost $9 for a Big Mac.
With reports on social media of an $18 Big Mac meal at one Connecticut rest stop.
The Baconator you love?
And even Wendy's announcing it plans to test dynamic pricing, charging different prices for the same items based on demand throughout the day. Nearly all restaurant owners say they're facing higher operating and labor costs, and food prices are up too. In Milwaukee, Naz Musa is navigating those challenges. At his restaurant Casablanca, he's implementing innovative ways in an effort not to pass costs onto his customers.
Now we're making our own pita bread, and that saved us a lot of money.
The Wall Street Journal reporting more than half of small business owners, like restaurateurs, said higher labor costs are their biggest source of inflation.
Right.
NBC News reached out to Five Guys for comment, but did not hear back. And McDonald's has told us in the past that, look, you know, all the prices vary by location. These are franchisees with different sort of micro economies. But it used to be the burger, if you went to a restaurant, you kind of was safe. That was kind of the cheaper thing on the menu. Not anymore.
All right, guys. So basically what is happening here, you have a policy that is upping the price to all of these employees. It's actually costing the customer more money. This is Economics 101. So if the actual business and the business owner has to pay employees more money, that is actually fueled by the government's policies there in California. And this is happening all over the United States. So basically what that does is that company has to make up for cost. Clearly, it has to make up for costs here. And, you know, there's pros and cons to this entire situation. And we'll just have to see how it plays out in the future. However, when you look at it on face value, this is Economics 101. If anybody ever went to high school and halfway paid attention, this is basically what this is. You have governmental increase in wages to employees, which is going to push up the price of these items that the customer is paying for. So you have to look at, is the customer going to stop coming to fast food? People go to eat fast food for convenience. They go to eat fast food because it's quick, it's easy, it's in, out. You know, I recently went to a Dairy Queen here in North Carolina, in Raleigh, North Carolina. Got 2 value meals, just soft drinks, a basic, and it was like $25. It just hit me the wrong way. I ended up going outside and just planting me a big garden. I'm going to have all kinds of vegetables there. I'm looking at getting my chickens back, getting the chicken coop going. Things are just too expensive these days with inflation and what's going on right now with the economy. Economy is in shambles, despite what Washington might want to tell you right now, considering it's an election year. We are all feeling the heat right now. We're feeling the pain of this. You guys let me know in the comments, what are some things that you're struggling with when it comes to finances, when it comes to eating? You know, it costs so much money for someone to eat out. I'm not married. I don't have any kids. So I can only imagine how expensive it is for families, you know, a family of 4 or a single mother with a child, or, just having a child in general, when it comes to having to eat every meal. I can only imagine how expensive it is to everyone out there. If we keep pushing this Democratic policy of trying to bring everybody up to this certain economic bam ladder, all it does is drive the price up for the customer. And then what's going to end up happening is the customer ends up not eating there, and the employee loses their job, And, I've been saying for years, I called it years ago. I'm sure other people have as well. We're eventually going to move into the situation where there's AI. I can see in the future where these restaurants are going to basically have maybe one or two people or something like that, three people working in there to make sure everything's going good. And you would have robots that are basically performing the task of what the employee would have. If you did have this AI kind of feature coming into your restaurant, if you had this sort of robotic situation, then they come in and they're serving food. They're 24/7. And once you get that particular AI unit or self-serving robot type, then the employee loses their job. And now the poor become poorer and the rich become richer, like always. This stuff never changes. I don't know. What are you guys thinking? Are you guys frustrated with fast food restaurants' prices? Are you guys frustrated with how much groceries cost? Let me know what you guys do to offset costs sometimes in your personal lives when it comes to this type of thing. You guys check me out online, Nick Driver, on YouTube, on air with Nick Driver Podcast. I hope you guys have a blessed day. It's a wonderful, 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 wonderful Saturday, May 4th. May the 4th be with you. And yeah, man, if you guys are seeing this on Saturday, May 4th, don't forget, it's free comic book day. You guys be safe. Take care. One love. Hey, try to save some money. Hey, and stay sweet like honey, man. Y'all be safe. Take care.